What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Haunting. Today, we are venturing deep into the remote wilderness where an old abandoned hotel sits shrouded in mystery and fog. It's said that anyone who stays here vanishes without a trace, never to be seen again. What really happened to these people? Is there something sinister going on here, or is there a more logical explanation? Let's find out. As we make our way through the dilapidated halls, each step echoes with the footsteps of those who came before us. What secrets are hidden within these four walls? Are there any lingering spirits that call this place home? Join us as we uncover the truth behind the haunting tales of this abandoned hotel and the vanished guests who have become its permanent residents. It all started when my friend and I were looking for a new place to explore. We had heard rumors about an abandoned hotel in the middle of nowhere and thought it would make for a great video. After some research, we found out that the hotel was located in a small town in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by nothing but trees and mountains. When we arrived at the hotel, it was clear that this was not your typical abandoned building. The entire area around the hotel was covered in a thick fog, making it feel like we had stepped into another world. As we got closer, we could see that the hotel was in a state of disrepair. The paint was peeling from the walls and the windows were boarded up. But what really caught our attention was the overgrown landscape that surrounded the hotel. It felt like nature was reclaiming the land and the hotel was being swallowed up by the forest. We started to wonder why the hotel had been abandoned in the first place. And as we looked around, we noticed that there were no signs of life or activity for miles around. There was no one else here but us, which only added to the eerie feeling that we were getting. But we were determined to find out what secrets this abandoned hotel was hiding. So we parked our car and started to walk towards the front door. As we approached, we could hear nothing but the sound of the wind rustling through the trees. It was almost as if the hotel itself was silent, like it didn't want us to disturb whatever secrets it was hiding inside. When we finally reached the door, we couldn't help but feel a sense of dread as we opened it and stepped inside. The air inside the hotel was musty and stale, like it hadn't been occupied in years. The floors were creaky, and the stairs made a loud noise with every step. We could feel the weight of the building's history pressing down on us as we explored the dusty rooms and hallways. And then we saw them, the personal belongings of the former guests, left behind in the rooms as if they had vanished into thin air. It was at that moment that we realized that this was not just an ordinary abandoned hotel. This was a place where people had come to stay and never left. The walls seemed to whisper stories of the people who had stayed here before us, their laughter and conversations echoing through the empty halls. We could almost feel their presence as we walked through the rooms, as if they were still here with us. The hotel had a rich history dating back to the early 20th century. It had been built as a luxury resort for wealthy tourists who wanted to escape the hustle and bustle of city life. The hotel had boasted beautiful rooms with stunning views of the surrounding countryside. Guests could enjoy live music and dancing in the ballroom, as well as take a dip in the indoor pool. But as the years went on, the hotel began to fall into disrepair. The once luxurious rooms became dusty and dilapidated, and the lively atmosphere was replaced by an eerie silence. It wasn't clear why exactly the hotel had been abandoned, but we could feel that there was more to the story than met the eye. As we continued to explore the hotel, we came across a locked room at the end of a long hallway. Curiosity got the better of us, and we decided to investigate. We tried to open the door, but it was locked tight. We could hear strange noises coming from inside, like whispers and footsteps. But then we heard something else, a voice that seemed to come from nowhere. At first we thought we were hearing things, but then we heard it again. The voice was saying our names, as if someone was trying to communicate with us. We couldn't see anyone, but the voice kept getting louder and more insistent. We decided to leave the hotel and explore the grounds. But wherever we went, we couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. We could feel eyes on our backs, and we could hear strange noises all around us. As we continued to explore, we came across a small cabin at the edge of the property. We decided to check it out, and what we found inside shocked us to our core. On the table was a journal that had been filled with strange symbols and writings. We couldn't decipher the symbols, but the writings were in English. As we read through the journal, we realized that we were reading the thoughts and experiences of the people who had stayed at the hotel and vanished. The journal told the story of a group of friends who had come to the hotel for a weekend getaway. They had been excited to explore the area and relax in the beautiful surroundings. But as the days went on, they began to experience strange and terrifying events. They wrote about hearing voices and seeing shadows moving in the corner of their eyes. They also wrote about feeling cold spots and sensing the presence of unseen entities around them. One entry in particular stood out to us. It was written by one of the friends who had stayed in the locked room. In his entry, he described hearing a knock on the door in the middle of the night. He said that he had gotten out of bed to investigate, but when he opened the door, there was no one there. He could hear the knock again, but when he went to the window to look out, he could see nothing but darkness. As we read through the journal, we couldn't help but feel a sense of dread. The more we learned about the hotel and its history, the more we realized that we were in danger. We decided to return to the hotel and try to contact the spirits that were haunting it. We set up a camera to record any movement or strange phenomena that may occur. We also brought along an EMF reader to measure any changes in electromagnetic energy. As we sat in the room, we could feel the energy in the room begin to change. The temperature dropped and the EMF reader began to spike. Then we heard it, the voice that we had heard in the hallway. It was saying our names again, but this time it was louder and more urgent. We could feel the presence of the spirit growing stronger and stronger until suddenly the lights turned off and the door to the room slammed shut. We screamed in terror as we tried to find the door in the pitch-black room. We could hear the voice laughing, and it sounded like it was right outside the door. When we finally found the door and got out of the room, we could hear the voice whispering all around us. We could feel its presence in the room, and it seemed to be communicating with us, trying to tell us something. But then just as suddenly as it had started, it stopped. The room was silent again, and we were left in the darkness, wondering what had just happened. We knew that we had to get out of there, so we turned the camera off and ran to the car. As we drove away, we could feel the presence of the hotel and its secrets following us. We never looked back. When we got home, we looked through the footage that we had captured. The camera had recorded strange movements and anomalies that we hadn't noticed before. There were objects that appeared and disappeared, and there were strange shadows that moved across the frame. We also listened to the recording of the EP that we had captured. When we played it back, we could hear the voice that had been haunting us. It was saying our names and laughing at our fear. We were shaken to our core by what we had experienced. We knew that we had stumbled upon something truly mysterious and haunting, and we couldn't wait to share it with the world. But since then, we have received countless messages from people who have had similar experiences at the hotel. Some have reported hearing the same voice that we heard, while others have seen strange figures walking through the halls. Despite the danger, we feel compelled to return to the hotel and uncover the truth behind its haunting. We believe that there are answers here, and we are determined to find them. Whether we can escape the clutches of the haunted hotel alive remains to be seen. But we are prepared to face whatever challenges lie ahead in our quest for the truth. This abandoned hotel is a place of mystery and intrigue, and we are determined to uncover its secrets. So what do you think happened to the guests at the abandoned hotel? Do you believe that they were taken by a sinister force, or is there a more logical explanation? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.